Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back again, as mentioned. It is a Monday stream today. We don't normally stream on Mondays, but it is double game week 25, blank game week 25, however you want to say it. And yeah, we thought we would do a free hit draft for you guys. There was a few questions in regards to free hitting. Should you free hit? And yeah, it would depend on your team, I guess. And I know Jordan, you are actually going to free hit this week for Game Week 25. So we've come along. We've done two different teams. I've done a team, and Jordan's also done one. So we're going to talk about what we think is the best way to go if you are looking to use your free hit chip this week, Game Week 25. So yeah, we're going to get into that all. If you are joining in, as always, don't forget to drop a like. How you doing, Jordan? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, and I'd just like to add one more thing with the free hit. We've obviously our two teams. We've made one team value which is affordable if you don't have a high team value, and obviously we've made one which has the most possible highest team value. So it's a bit of diversity there, just in case you guys can't afford one team, and if you could afford the other.
Yep. Yeah, we've done two different values. We'll show other options as well if you don't want like we've tried to make the teams a bit different as well, haven't we, as well? So that should be good. But yeah, let's bring up my team first. The draft I've done for double game week 25. So yeah, let's start with the team. So team value is just over 100 million. So most of you should be able to afford this team. I made this, a day ago, put it together. So hold on, bear with me a sec. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Hold on, wait a sec. I can hear you fine. Can you hear me, Jordan? Can you guys let me know in the chat if you can hear me? Because I think my mic is playing up. Hold on. No, you can hear me fine. It's your mic, Jordan. They can hear me fine. Yeah, it's your mic. You might want to come back and leave and come back in, or you might be on mute. So yeah, all good, all good. Sorry, guys. Just I thought I was fine. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna read a few comments out actually before we do start. I want to let Jordan come back in. We've got Ferguson Football in the chat. He says, "How you lads doing?" Yeah, we're both good. Hope you're well. If you could bring the teams back up, Jordan, the slides.
Yep.
And
so
then,
I couldn't hear Huss's audio for some reason.
Yeah, I was surprised because I wasn't on mute or anything. But yeah, no worries. Just a little technical delay, guys. We are gonna bring up the teams. Spaghetti and Beans. Nice to see you. I haven't, heard from you in a while. At a rank of 280k, top 10k is still possible. Yeah, definitely. Long way to go still, and hopefully you've still got some chips active that you can use. So, yeah. Okay, let's bring up the slides. Sorry about that, guys. Back to the video. And yeah, let's start with the free hit for Game Week 25. So as you guys can see in goal, I have gone with Saar. Now this might be a lot of people might think this is a weird pick because Wolves aren't great. But I've gone with him nonetheless. I've gone with double Wolves at the back. So yeah, I've gone with Saar in goal because I think Fulham, you may keep a clean sheet in that game. Liverpool as well. I know Wolves have actually beaten Liverpool, haven't they, in recent weeks, especially in the FA Cup game. Liverpool did struggle against them, but Liverpool are slightly improved. So maybe he can get one clean sheet, some save points. The reason there are other better goalies like a Pickford. In hindsight, I probably prefer Pickford over Saar, but I will try to be different and I'll put Saar in. But Pickford is another one that you can definitely go for. And I probably think Pickford is better, if I'm being honest. But I want Saar to be different as a bit of a differential. In the back line, I have gone with Kilman, who has a double as well. Of course, I've tried to add in as many doublers as possible. I've got 9 doublers in the team. The only single players are the City players. So Kilman has Fulham away and Liverpool away. I think he's gonna play both games as well. He should play both, and yeah, because of the double, that's why he's in there. And Fulham could be a decent fixture for him if Mitrovic isn't back from injury. Um, that game looks quite decent for Wolves. If we look at the Liverpool game, yeah, he may not keep a clean sheet in that game, but I guess it's a bonus if he does get anything from Liverpool. And yeah, there's not really much to really discuss in terms of Wolves. They're not being great, but I wanted to include, if I was free hitting, I would maybe like to have at least a Wolves defender in case they keep a clean sheet against Fulham. Moving on to someone like a Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I have included in the free hit draft. He's actually one player I will be looking to bring into my own team with one of my transfers. Now, he's got 2 nice fixtures against Palace and Wolves. Palace away, and then Wolves at home. So these are 2 nice fixtures for Trent. Trent is back on form compared to the early parts of the season. He's looked a lot better. He has picked up an assist for the goal for Darwin against Newcastle with a nice cross. He's kept 2 clean sheets back to back. Maybe the Newcastle one was slightly fortunate because Liverpool did concede quite a few chances, but you can see at least 1 clean sheet possibly in that double for Trent. We know he's looking more attacking in recent games compared to the early part of the season, and I think he's a good move, a good transfer in, and a definitely must-have if you are free hitting, in my opinion. You could go for Robbo as well, but I'd still choose Trent if I was picking out the Liverpool fullbacks. He should play both games 90 minutes unless he gets injured. So yeah, he's a good pick, and definitely a bit of an essential, I think, if on a free hit, because I think for me, he was a no-brainer in the team. Moving on to Tarkowski, who's got Villa and Arsenal. Now, I wanted to have an Everton defender just to cover in case Everton do keep a clean sheet against Villa or Arsenal. We know Everton did actually keep a clean sheet against Arsenal, didn't they? A couple game weeks back with a 1-0 win. So
Yep.
Not out the realm that they could do it again. And, Villa, you don't know what you're going to get sometimes from Villa. So you never know. It could be a low-scoring game. And I think Tarkowski, if you're on a free hit, you'd want at least an Everton defender, whether that's Pickford or Tarkowski, maybe even a Seamus Coleman. So yeah, he's in there. I think he's another good pick, whether you're free hitting or if you're looking to bring in a defender. I think Tarkowski is going to be popular. Moving on to the midfield, I don't think it's going to be that different to a lot of people's teams. That's another reason why I'm not free hitting, because I have players like Saka. I can bring Odegaard in. I can bring Grealish. I got Mahrez, I can bring Salah in as well into my team. So a lot of these players we can bring in with just transfers. So that's why I've decided against the free hit. But yeah, Saka, Odegaard, we know what they're doing so far this season. They've been great Arsenal assets. I do believe they are the best Arsenal assets. Saka, Odegaard, and Nketiah, my top 3. So if I was on a free hit, I would definitely be going triple attack over double attack and a defender, because we know Arsenal have been conceding a few goals recently, not keeping as many clean sheets as they were at the start of the season. So yeah, Saka's a great pick. He's going to be on a lot of teams. No brainer, really. Odegaard the same. I think Leicester, Everton, these are 2 good fixtures for Arsenal, and you definitely want both of them if I was going to free hit anyway. Moving on to Salah, I think he's going to be a very, very popular transfer in for most teams. People that have KDB, I think Salah is an obvious move. Yeah, I think if you've got KDB like myself, Salah looks like a no-brainer, and he's got 2 good fixtures. He did pick up an assist against Newcastle. He didn't score, but he is on penalties. We know Salah takes penalties, and that is, a positive. But Liverpool actually haven't got a penalty all season, so hopefully, if they can get one, Salah will take. And also, the fact I like Salah over other players like a Gakpo, Nunez, Jota is the minutes. Salah probably will play 90 minutes both games, whereas Nunez may play, 120, 130 minutes. Same was Gakpo. He may play 130 minutes, 120 minutes. And that's why Salah, 90 minutes both games on penalties. There's less minutes risk with him. So I do like Salah in that sense. His underlying numbers still ain't that bad. It's pretty similar to Saka. So, and we know how well Saka's doing. So Salah, I think these 2 games, you definitely want him, and he's definitely coming into my team. Let me know what you guys think as well. Also, Salah, I think, is a great captain option for game week 25. I know I've got the captain armband on Darwin, but I'll probably put it on Salah if I'm being honest. The comment just came in from Alex. Whether I'm going to captain Darwin over Salah. No, I will be going Salah captain. I've just left that on Darwin. But I would be captaining Salah if I had to pick a Liverpool asset, just because, as I said, because of the minutes, Salah's expected to play both games 90 minutes, whereas Darwin, he'll probably come off after 60 minutes in one of the games due to Firmino being back, as well as Jota being back, and even Gakpo now as an option who started to find his feet. So yeah, Salah, great pick, captaincy material this week as well. So I think he's an easy transfer in for a lot of teams. Moving on, I've included Grealish as a bit of a differential. I could have went with another doubler. For example, Alexis McNeil. I could have went with someone like Iwobi at Everton as well, or even a Doucouré, like another Everton midfielder. But I think Grealish has been playing really well since the World Cup. I think he's been one of City's better players, and I wanted to include a differential. And I think Bournemouth away, Grealish has some upside potentially if you can get me like a goal or an assist. Now, I'd like to include another Man City player just to be different. So yeah, that's why I've gone Grealish. I think he's been playing well, and I wanted to be different. So that's why I've included him in there. Moving up top, I've gone with Nketiah, who I do think is probably the 3rd best Arsenal pick, and he takes up a forward spot as well. So he is one of the best forwards, I think, on a free hit. Again, good fixtures, Leicester and Everton. And Nketiah is getting quite a lot of chances in games, and he is missing them currently. But as the same we say with Darwin, the good thing is he's still getting the chances, and the same I'll say with Nketiah is a positive that he's still getting these chances, even though he's missing, because 1 or 2 should eventually go in for him if he gets those against Leicester and Everton. So, I think Nketiah, I really want him to bring him into my own team, but I have to figure out the way to do it because I already have triple Arsenal. But yeah, Nketiah, I just have a feeling, I don't know why, that he's going to outscore Saka and Odegaard in this double game week. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. I think Nketiah might score a few goals in those 2 games, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on to Darwin, who was a bit of a knock. Bit of a doubt. He had a knock off the Newcastle game, but according to Klopp and even the training pictures, I think Darwin is in full training, and he trained with the Liverpool team today ahead of the game in the Champions League against Real Madrid. So we'll keep an eye out on that tomorrow if Darwin starts. But Darwin, if he is fit, it looks like he should be now. I will definitely be looking to bring him in. Palace and Wolves, again, are nice fixtures. He did get a goal, a very nice finish for him against Newcastle as well. So, he's getting a bit more confidence. I think the front 3 with Gakpo, Salah, and Darwin is clicking a bit more. Liverpool look a bit back to their normal self, especially in attack as well. So, yeah, I think Darwin is one of my favorite picks this week. I just think, he might have... It's just the upside with Darwin. He's going to get chances. If he plays both games, we know that there is potential there if, obviously, he can hold his nerve and finish the chances off. But I liked what I saw against Newcastle and even Everton when he got the assist for the Salah goal. So, yeah, he's definitely one that I like this week. And if I was free hitting, I'd be looking to have him up top. And then finally, to complete the front line, Haaland, even on a free hit, you can't really go without him because we know he can score a hat-trick against Bournemouth and no one would be surprised. He's not going to be my captain. I don't think I would captain Haaland if I was using the captainship or triple captain or whatever. But I do want to include Haaland in there just because of his upside. He's got 26 goals this season, so he's probably going to smash the record of 32 by Salah in 2017-18. And yeah, that is currently my free hit team. The only thing I might change is probably the goalie. So I could change it to Pickford. But other than that, I'll probably keep the team as you guys see on the bench. I've got Coleman, Andreas Pereira, and then Nico Williams as well. But yeah, that's the team, guys, with 100.6 million team value. So most of you, if you are free hitting, should be able to afford a team like this. Let me know what you guys think. Salah probably is the captain. I think Saka's also a good choice, but we will talk captains in a sec. But yeah, that is it pretty much in regards to my free hit team. I've got triple Liverpool because I think their fixtures are pretty good and Liverpool have high upside. Not many teams will have triple Liverpool as well. So on a free hit, it makes sense. Triple Arsenal, couple Everton as well would be nice. Grealish I think is a differential pick, and yeah, Kilman to have some Wolves assets. So yeah, that's the team. Let's bring up your team, Jordan, and talk us through, because I'm not free hitting, because there's a comment here from Ali Mack says, are you both free hitting? So no, I'm not free hitting. I plan to just use my transfers. I do have 2 free transfers this week, but Jordan will be free hitting. So maybe you want to listen to what he's got to say as well, because he's actually going to have to free hit and decide on what he wants to do. So moving on to your team, Jordan, your free hit team so far. Talk us through your ideas, why you've selected the players as well, and just your thinking behind it.
Okay, so obviously we'll start off with Pickford, the goalkeeper. So I wasn't really highly appealing with this choice, but because there's lack of really options in this blank game week, yeah, I think I do agree with many people that did say Pickford's probably the best choice to go for if you are free hitting into this 25. I mean, Everton did keep a clean sheet against Leeds in 24 and then kept one against Arsenal in 22. So they are picking up more clean sheets now, obviously underneath the new manager, Dyke, who seems to have proved Everton a bit more. I mean, they've won 2 games underneath him, which is a great result so far for him. I think Everton have recovered a little bit from their lot of losses that they've had. And yeah, pretty much Pickford is a massive differential as well, 5.8%. So he's not a highly owned goalkeeper. And he is a cheap option to go for at 4.4 million. So he's not expensive goalkeeper to choose. So it does save up a lot of money, especially in this free hit, as it's very expensive, as you can see with the team value being very high. I think Pickford's a good pick for these 2 doubles. The first one being Aston Villa at home. I mean, it could be a surprising result at that game. We've seen it in the past with lower scored or lower league teams that, like Southampton the other day, winning 1-0 against Chelsea. I mean, this could be a scenario where Everton win and keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa, and then maybe that's bonus points for Pickford if he manages to get a lot of saves in that game. And then obviously the second one is Arsenal, which is away. I think that will be a bit more obviously challenging for Pickford and Everton to keep a clean sheet. But if he can keep one in that Aston Villa at home fixture, anything after that is a bonus on top of that. As long as he gets a clean sheet in one or the other, I think it's been worthwhile for the free hit to bring him in. But even if it isn't, I mean, he should at least get 4 points as long as he doesn't concede, obviously, more than 2 goals. And then obviously the minuses come into play for every 2 goals Everton concede. But minimum, I'll say 4 points for Pickford is pretty good. Obviously, he's a double, so and low own, so he could do well for the rank in the free hit. So that's my goalkeeper choice out of the way. Move on to the back 3, which is, I think this will be a popular choice for many. But we'll start off with Kilman, who is the first defender. So obviously we know Wolves, they as well haven't really kept many clean sheets this season. I think the only one, the most recent one they kept was the 3-0 win against Liverpool, which was a very surprise one. And then the one before that was in game week 20, where they won 1-0 against West Ham. So again, this is another team which haven't really kept many clean sheets or won many games. But for Kilman, he is a pretty nailed defender for Wolves. He's played 90 minutes in every fixture so far in its season, so there is no doubt with him not starting in both of those double game week fixtures, which obviously Fulham away, Liverpool away. These are challenging fixtures, obviously, because they're both away for Wolves and against teams that can score. Obviously, against Wolves, which is probably, I'll say there's probably more luck in getting a clean sheet against Fulham away, because with Liverpool picking up form now, I think Wolves will concede against them. But with the Fulham match, there's potential, again, similar to Pickford's first fixture, that Wolves could keep a clean sheet against Fulham away. Despite not keeping many this season, there's always a slight chance where they could hold off against Fulham, especially if Mitrovic isn't available for that game. Obviously, he's having a bit of issues at the current moment. I know he's flagged at the moment, but yeah, coming into that game, if Mitrovic doesn't play it, I mean, it's a good sign for those who have Wolves defenders, because Mitrovic is obviously the main threat for Fulham. So potentially there is a clean sheet there for Kilman, and obviously after that, if he gets a clean sheet against Fulham away, then yeah, it's a bonus. Whatever happens to Liverpool away, if he gets a clean sheet in both, then well, you're laughing really. But yeah, hopefully there's a clean sheet with one fixture or the other. I mean, Liverpool one, I don't really see it, because obviously they've picked up form, especially with Darwin back in the team, and obviously the main threat for Liverpool at the current moment. I feel like when he has the ball, it's almost always dangerous when he's always on it, because he's always that danger threat to score or assist someone like Salah, for example. But yeah, hopefully Kilman can keep a clean sheet in that, and he is my first defender pick, just because he is a nailed Wolves defender as well, and I know he's going to play both unless something shocking happens, like he gets injured, but hopefully not. Moving on to the second defender, and that is Trent Alexander. So he has Crystal Palace away and Wolves at home. Now, the reason why I picked Trent is not just because of obviously for clean sheets, but also because he is a dangerous player when it comes to attacking. As we've seen in previous seasons, Trent can get double hauls in some matches and always get the bonus on top of that as well. Obviously, it has lacked this season for his clean sheet record and attacking returns, but he is starting to get them back now, because he did get a 12-pointer against Newcastle, a win with 2-0. He did get an assist in that game, obviously bonus points. And he did keep a clean sheet against Everton as well before that in Gameweek 23. So it seems like Liverpool are picking up more form and are keeping more clean sheets now. And with that double on the horizon, I think potentially they can keep a clean sheet in both of those fixtures. The two teams that are struggling at the moment, we all know Wolves are the highest goal scorers as a team, and Crystal Palace have sort of dropped off as well. And I think Zaha has been absent for most of their games too. So there is a high chance that Trent could possibly get a nice return in both of those doubles and probably get a double haul potentially. He's a very good pick. I mean, obviously he's not highly owned, because a lot of us did sell Liverpool assets as we saw they were struggling at the start. He is about 18.5% owned, and obviously that's going to rise as we look forward to the double. But yeah, he is a nice pick to go for, I think, as one of the Liverpool assets. And finally, moving on to the last defender, and that is Tarkowski. And obviously, he's got Aston Villa at home and Arsenal away. Now, I don't know if you've watched, obviously, Everton, but Tarkowski is an attacking defender, as he did score an important goal against Arsenal in that 1-0 win. And he did get 15 points from that game as well. So it was a nice return for Tarkowski as well. He's only 5% owned, and he's 4.3 million. So he's a really cheap defender who could possibly get an attacking return, whether it be an assist or obviously a goal. I mean, his record so far this season, I mean, for Everton wise, it hasn't been that great. I mean, he's only had one goal this season, obviously, and not kept many clean sheets. I mean, I think Everton, they've kept like 5 or 6 clean sheets this season, but they are starting to pick up, as I've mentioned before, with Pickford, with clean sheets, Everton. I think he's going to be a popular pick as there ain't many defenders to really go for in this blank/double game week. And I think he is probably one of the best choices in terms of Everton that you could most likely go for, especially with his price as well. He's cheap, affordable, and obviously you can invest the money elsewhere if need be. But Aston Villa at home, obviously we've spoken about it. It's a nice fixture for Everton that could surprise many with a clean sheet. Obviously the Arsenal one may be a bit more challenging, but we'll have to see. So that's pretty much my three defenders talked about and why I've chosen to pick those three. I think they'll be a popular pick in many FPL teams. Now we move on to the four midfielders. So obviously this is obvious. We've got Saka as the first one. I already have Saka in the team anyway, without the free hit or not. He does have Leicester away and Everton at home, and yeah, I think this is a good fixture for Saka. He's on penalties, so that's another bonus too, and he's on form currently at the moment as well. He scored in the last fixture, which was against Aston Villa in that 4-2 win, and got a 6-pointer. He scored in the Man City game, even though they did lose Arsenal in that one, and he did score in the no, he got an assist in the Brentford one in game week 23. So he has been quite on form in the past 3 game weeks, and he's another player that could potentially double haul in this double coming up with Leicester away. Leicester have conceded a lot of goals. The recent one being Man United, one losing 3-0 to them. And then after that, he's got Everton at home, which looks like a really nice fixture. And this may clash with, obviously, having Everton defenders, but at the same time, it's more upside for the attacking players like Saka to have in your team, as he is highly owned as well, and is potentially a captain option too in the double. I think his ownership is like 35%, so I expect that to rise above 40 by the time of the deadline. But yeah, I'll say he's a most important asset to have if you're going triple up on Arsenal, as he is a highly owned, dangerous attacking threat player that is currently on form for Arsenal. Moving on to the next player now, and that's another Arsenal player, and that is Odegaard, who I wish I had in my team a really long time ago, but haven't been able to fit him in. But he's another player that's been really good for Arsenal. He's similar to like Bruno Fernandes, I'll say. He's a very tactical player on the field. He does get a lot of assists, I think, this season. I think Odegaard's had 7 assists this season, and he scored 8 goals so far. So he's had a nice season so far for Odegaard. He does come off an 8.9 in game week 24 against Aston Villa for getting an assist in that game. And he's another player I'd like to bring in my team. And obviously, because I'm free hitting, this is an opportune moment to bring him in for that Leicester away and Everton home game, because I think he is also another player that could do well. I mean, I don't see why he can't double haul, maybe possibly score and get an assist in one or the other. And he's a player also that gets bonus points too. And on top of that, I'll say it's very rewarding. And there's not really another midfielder that I'd say I'd rather want in terms of Arsenal. I mean, there is Martinelli, but his minutes are managed between Trossard now. And I think Odegaard will get more minutes than Martinelli in those 2 double game week fixtures. So I feel like he's a more valuable target to go for in terms of Arsenal assets. And I mean, his price is not too bad. 7 million as well for midfielder is not too bad. I mean, the way he's performing, I think that's worthwhile, the price. And yeah, that is the reason why I brought in Odegaard on my free hit. The next midfielder is Salah, who has Crystal Palace away and Wolves home. So he's my second Liverpool asset I've decided to bring in. I think everyone can agree that Salah hasn't had the best season so far, but he hasn't had the worst one, really, because he has had 122 points this season, which is not too bad for a player, but for Salah we expect a little bit more, especially when he started off as the highest valued player at 13 million, which has kind of dropped off now. He is 12.6 million, so that kind of helps afford him, obviously, because he is a high expensive premium to have in your team. He's had 6 assists and 8 goals this season, so it hasn't been completely awful for Salah. I mean, it has been a bit of a dry spell for him. I think he's had 2 returns in the past 2 game weeks. I mean, he scored in the Everton fixture, and then he got an assist in the Newcastle one. So yeah, he's had 17 points in the last 2 game weeks. So again, it looks more better from Liverpool now that Salah is getting that form back, and other players as well like him. I feel like in this double, he could do well. Another player that could potentially be captained as well, as we've done in the past, that Crystal Palace away game and the Wolves at home. I think he could do well in both, as long as he's involved up front. I mean, he can do well. He could have potentially scored in that Newcastle game if Nick Pope didn't challenge for that ball and handballed it outside his box. I mean, he
Mhm.
looked like he was on for goal in that, so he could have potentially scored in that game. So there is a lot of upside to bringing Salah in your team, especially as
Yeah.
a spot.
No, I was just gonna say, let's talk about, obviously we're on Salah now. You've gone captain Saka as of now. Um, how come you've gone with Saka over Salah slightly? Because obviously the rest of the team, the attack is exactly the same. So I thought we'd speak about Salah v Saka right now as well, because there was a few comments on about the captaincy as well. How close is it for you, or are you pretty sure you're gonna go Saka?
I think I'm pretty sure I'm going with Saka. I know there's a lot to play for Liverpool to get the top 4. Obviously, they want to push for that, but I feel like there's a little bit more edge on picking Arsenal player like Saka. I really like him on that. Obviously, the right hand side. He doesn't seem to really get marked either. Uh, in most games, he seems to be left alone a lot of the time, which I also like as well. I mean, he's a good captain for the fixtures he does have. Obviously, Arsenal have a better form that Liverpool haven't got at the moment. They're climbing slowly to get there, but I think Saka is a good captain option. I mean, don't get me wrong, Salah is also, but I'm not too confident, 100% confident on captaining Salah just in case he does blank as well at the same time. I do have that at the back of my head that he may have a blank spell. Hopefully not. But I think I feel more safer picking Saka, who may score a goal and obviously uh, take a penalty if he does have the opportunity to.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, because obviously I will have both in my team for game week 25 as well. I'm currently on Salah. I think Saka is also a very good pick, but I want to go Salah because I think it might be a bit of a differential. So I don't know how many people are going to captain Salah. Maybe fewer than Saka, I think, because of the form the both teams are in. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But as of now, I do slightly prefer Salah, just because as well, again, because 120 minutes he should play. Um, Sorry, 120, more than 120 minutes. He should play both games, 180. So yeah, I think Salah. I do hear what you're saying with the slight doubts if he could blank, because obviously he did actually blank against. Sorry, he didn't. He got the assist, but he didn't score. Um, so yeah, I do hear that there is that worry there going Salah in case he blanks. But yeah, I'm gonna do the upside play, I think, and I'm on Salah, but Saka also, yeah, good pick. And we know with Saka, they're both on penalties as well, and they're both gonna play both games 90 minutes, so they're very good options. If anyone else, is there anyone else you would consider other than Salah, Saka, or do you think those two are the main ones people will be going for?
Darwin could be a possible captaincy, obviously, choice as well. I think it might have put some people off though with that shoulder injury he'd have, but we know that he's fine. Obviously, he's gonna probably start tomorrow's game at Real Madrid. It's gonna be an important game for Darwin, but I don't know. It's something with Darwin that's put me off not captaining him. Maybe it's because he's had a lot of missed chances. Maybe that's it. But he did score, obviously in the previous game.
Mhm. And also the thing with Darwin, he probably won't play 180 minutes. So both games, he'll probably start against Palace or Wolves, and then he'll go off after 60 minutes, etc. Because, like I said, Liverpool do have a lot of players coming back from injury, like Jota, like Firmino as well. So Liverpool have options apart from Luis Diaz. Everyone is fit for Liverpool up front. So that that's the reason why I wouldn't go Darwin captain. I think just because of the minutes. Chief says Haaland captain. For me, no. I would rather go with a double game week player like a Salah, like a Saka, even a Darwin. I would prefer a double game week player, but as a single game week player, he probably is the best captain option. But as always, I do usually go with a double game week player. Uh, getting more comments coming in. Also, obviously, you need to touch on how come you've included Awobi? What's the thinking behind that? Because there's a comment here, I think, in regards to your team you've selected. If I can find it, someone says, or Alex says, I would play Bowen ahead of Awobi because you've got Bowen on the bench, who is a single game week player. What's your thinking behind Awobi? Because I've seen a few people include Awobi or McNeil of Everton or someone like a Decore even. Is it just a punt at this rate?
I think it could be a good differential pick. I mean, Iwobi did get the assist in the Leeds 1-0 win, and he did get another assist in the Brighton game in 19. He does get returns here and there. I mean, he's not the most returned player for Everton, but he's had 7 assists and 1 goal this season. So there might be some upside to bring him in for these 2 doubles, because there is possibility he could get an assist or maybe score in one of the other fixtures. And he is not really highly owned at all.
Yeah, I've just seen the stats. He actually has 6 assists in the Premier League, the same as Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, I will be same assists as Odegaard as well, and Bruno, as I said. So maybe could be a good pick, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think many people go for Iwobi as well, because he's only 1.7% owned. I haven't seen really a lot of transfers for him, so he could be a very differential pick to go for if you're free hitting.
Mm-hmm. We've got a few more comments coming in. Hopefully, I haven't missed anything. I'm just going to double check. Actually, we've missed quite a few comments. So yeah, I'm going to go off the top. Okay, there's a bunch of comments that came through. Spaghetti and Beans, do you think Mitrovic to Darwin is a good move? Yes, I think that's a great move. Let me see what else. I'll let you take this one. His team is Raya, Ward, Lewis, Trent, Trippier, Shaw, Rashford, Odegaard, KDB, Matoma, Bruno, Nketiah, Ferguson, Haaland. Do I take any hits? He's got 2 free transfers. I'm assuming he wants you to give him tips on what moves to make.
Well, the obvious one is probably KDB to Salah. That's one of your 1 free transfers. And I'd probably say Luke Shaw as well. Take him out for maybe Tarkowski or Kilman as your second transfer. And then I think the rest you can potentially bench, like Rashford and
Trippier.
Yeah, Trippier. Or you've also got Bruno and Mitoma, though. So you might have to take a hit actually to have a starting 11. So you could take out as well Mitoma and potentially bring in maybe Odegaard or someone cheap like Iwobi, like I sort of have in my team. And yeah, you should have, if you take a -4, you should have a starting 11 Ferguson. So minimum, I'd say, if you take a -4, that your team looks really good, and you can navigate with minimal cost to a -4 as well, because the doublers will make up for it.
Yeah, I'd be doing Bruno to Saka, because I see you haven't got Saka. So Bruno to Saka's for me is easy. KDB to Salah, and yeah, probably Luke Shaw out for someone like a Trent. Oh, you've got Trent, haven't you? So maybe yeah, like a Tarkowski for an Everton cover. But yeah, Saka and Salah in midfield probably. I'm thinking Castagna, KDB, Kane out for Trent, Salah, Darwin for a -4. Reluctant to sell Kane. Yeah, I think a lot of people will be, Kane owners will be very hesitant about selling Kane, because, you know, to get Salah in is going to be very hard, obviously, with the money. to have Salah, Kane, and Haaland. So that is, I understand, it's going to be a tough choice for those that have Kane, because Kane has
Yeah.
been playing well in
If
recent
I had
weeks.
if I had Kane in my team, I would be holding on to him personally because I'd probably hate selling him just because he's been on form and his ownership is 40% owned, so he is dangerous to
Mm.
rank as well. I would be more comfortable holding on to him.
Yeah, I mean, he does have Chelsea in game week 25, so it's not the easiest game. Maybe it is with the way Chelsea are playing right now, but yeah, if you sell Kane, he's one of those players that you'd probably want straight back after. So it is a tough one, but Salah has a double, so definitely this week Salah is the better pick. Too much money on your free hit. I think that's in response to you, but you can't get Robbo in because you went triple Liverpool. But I think
Yeah.
he prefers double Liverpool defense. I'm not sure I do. I think I
No.
prefer the Liverpool's attack.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the Liverpool attack. I mean, I think they were very fortunate to not get a clean sheet in the Newcastle game because there was moments in that match where I thought Newcastle would score. So there is that slight worry as well not to have double Liverpool defence yet,
Mhm.
as it's still early days for them to hold clean sheets.
Yeah, Fatali says Salah captain this week. Trust me, I captained Rashford last week. Yeah, I mean, I will be captaining Salah probably as of now, but we'll see who should be priority, Trent or Darwin. It's a tough one, but I'm gonna say no, I want to say Trent, just because Darwin may not play both 90 minutes in both games. I say Trent just right now. Any tips on my team? Yeah, sure, Martin. If you send us your team, I think he's got it here. Raya, Ward, Lewis, Trent, Trippier, Shaw, Rashford, Odegaard, KDB, Matoma, Bruno, and Ketia, Haaland.
I think we read this one out.
Oh, we read this one out. No, we read the other one out. We read one from I think it was Ferguson Football. Yeah, it was Ferguson Football.
They-
2 free transfers. Any tips?
I mean, I think you have the exact same team as Ferguson done as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I
That's why I
mean,
thought it was the same comment.
yeah, Bruno to or KDB to Salah, sorry, and Bruno to maybe Saka, something like that. For the 2 free transfers, I think Bruno and Saka. Sorry, Bruno and Saka. Saka and Salah are 2 players that I think you want for this game week 25.
Yeah, and yeah, you could possibly take Shaw out as well for maybe Tarkovsky or Kilman, just to have that starting 11 too.
Mm-hmm. Would you go Kane to Darwin for a -4?
Ooh,
It's a tough one because, as I said, Kane may not have the best fixture, even though he could probably score against Chelsea. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, my
Um,
my gut tells me no because it is Kane. I wouldn't be too confident doing it for Kane to Darwin for
you
minus
look at
four.
you look at Kane's fixtures from game week 26 onwards: Wolves, Nottingham, Southampton, Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth. He's got some really nice fixtures as all Kane after the 25. So yeah, it's tough. Those Kane owners are in a tough situation. I don't know what I'd do because I don't have Kane, but I do like Darwin for this pick for this double as well. Kawanda, welcome as always. Good evening, lads. Nice content. Thank you. I am tempted to squeeze McNeil in as I can't get Saka since I have 3 Liverpool players. Who's your 3 Liverpool players? Oh, 3 Arsenal players, you said. Yeah, I mean, you could try get McNeil in, or as Jordan's done, Iwobi could be another decent shout. I'm almost certain Milner and Simicast will start the Palace game with Madrid midweek. No, I'm not so sure. I think there could be slight rotation in coming off, but I think Liverpool and Klopp, they will try keep the team as similar as possible, just to get the rhythm, because Liverpool have been chop and changing their team all season, and that's another reason why Liverpool have been quite poor. I think they have not had a settled team, settled 11. Now with some injuries coming back, and Liverpool can field a consistent 11 every week, they are picking up some more results. So I would be surprised if Milner starts in those 2 games unless Trent gets injured. I'd expect Trent to start both. Same with Robertson, really. Simicast could play one because he's a bit of a better, maybe depth than Milner on the right side, where Liverpool don't have as great as an option. But yeah, I still think Robertson and Trent start both, but we'll see. Maybe Robbo comes off early, but they usually always play, don't they? When they're
Yeah,
fit. Saka or Grealish? Saka.
Saka.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one this week. I'm doing Salah and Iwobi. Do I take Shaw 2 for a -4? Depends who you bring in.
Yeah, I mean, if it's two for a starting 11, then yes, I would say probably yes for -4. Personally, though, I wouldn't want to take out my United assets. I would probably hold them on my bench. But if you have to, Martin,
It's hard to hold a player like Bruno though if you're not free hitting
yeah,
because he's so much money.
yeah, that's it. That's the problem.
Kane will blank. Yeah, we have to see with the FA Cup games, etc. It's very hard to say chip strategy right now because we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Liverpool could blank as well in 27, I believe, if Fulham beat Leeds.
Leeds.
Yeah, in the FA Cup. But like I said, we have to wait and see. That's why we haven't gone too in depth in regards to chip strategy because it's hard to say exactly right now. We don't know what is confirmed. Kane out, hit for a -4 for Darwin and Trent. They score more than the hit price. Plus, we are wildcarding soon. Yeah, you could. Like I said, the Kane owners are in a bit of a pickle because Kane is a good move. A good pick for the next couple of weeks. And Darwin has a high upside. So it's tough to not say to do it because I'm bringing Darwin in, and I think I'd want Darwin. So yeah, it's a tough one. Neves not Bowen on your bench. Yeah, we've considered Neves.
I've already looked at Neves actually. I mean, I don't know how many minutes Neves does play.
He should play. I mean, he plays pretty much 90. He's probably going to play 90 minutes both.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's played 90 minutes all through the season. I mean, yeah, I don't know about Neves. I mean, he has scored 5 goals surprisingly this season for Wolves, so yeah, he could be a good pick to have on the bench. I mean, why not? He is 5.4 million too, so he's cheaper than Bowen. So yeah, Ali, I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, it could be decent. Bruno to Saka. Yeah, I think this is a good move for this week because obviously Saka has a double and Bruno blanks. But we know Bruno after game week 25, he has some decent fixtures as well. So, but yeah, definitely this week Saka, you'd want him over Bruno. Obviously, Bruno doesn't have a game. Hey guys, why not McNeil? Says Peter. I mean, any reason why no McNeil? I mean, I'm trying to look at McNeil's stats. Has he even scored this season, McNeil? I don't think he has. As far as he scored 1 in game week 9. He's got 1 goal. How many assists? 1 assist, 2 assists.
Only
2 assists. And who was it? Iwobi has 6 assists, which is like similar to like Odegaard and Bruno. So yeah, I think you're going just on the assists, aren't you, on that one?
Yeah, also McNeil does play less frequent minutes. Like he played 45 minutes against West Ham in 21 and played 77 against Liverpool. He did play 90 in the Leeds game, so he's a player that may not play full 90 minutes. And with that double, I don't expect him to play both 90 in both of those. So I think Iwobi does have more minutes underneath him in that double too, rather than McNeil.
Mm-hmm.
But he's set piece taker though at the same time.
Yeah, Ali Mack just points out McNeil does take corners and free kicks, so there is that potential to get an assist off a Tarkowski header or something like that. Johnny, is Ake to Villa defender Tarkowski worth additional 4? Yes, I would say so, because Ake might not even start against Bournemouth, because we've seen Ake has been benched recently, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I don't think he started, did he, in the last game?
No, and Man City haven't kept many clean sheets either. They didn't manage to keep one against Nottingham Forest.
So Ake didn't actually. He came on played 1 minute against Forest. He played 90 against Arsenal. He only got 5 minutes against Villa. So we've seen he can get benched with Laporte, Diaz now there as well. So yeah, I'll take him Ake out. for like Tarkowski or someone like that. Alex says McNeil is now a way better option now that Deitch is in charge. Could be. We know, Deitch had him at Burnley, didn't he, as well? So that Burnley link up is coming back to play. Toby Lang, free hit this team. If you can't take any hits, only one transfer due to a bet. Kepa, Trippier, Shaw, Tarkowski, Saka, Odegaard, KDB, Bruno, Rashford, Haaland, Eddie, Nketiah, and Bueno, Greenwood, Nico on the bench. Free hit this team. I'd bench Trippier. I'd bench Shaw or sell Shaw. I wouldn't free hit that team. I wouldn't free hit that team. All you need to do is take out KDB to Salah. I'd play Bueno, who has got a double, and just pray he starts both. He should at least play one of them. Yeah, I'll do KDB out, Salah in, maybe Bruno out for someone like another doubler potentially, and then you should be fine. I don't think you need to free hit because you've got some good players in there already. Like you've got Everton defender, you've got Odegaard and Saka, you've got Nketiah as well, who's got a good double. It's only literally the Man United players, Bruno, Rashford. And Rashford you can bench and maybe sell Bruno somehow. And even you've got Bueno on the bench who has a double. So I don't think that's a free hit worthy team. But yeah, I think that's it. We are probably going to wrap the stream up here. It was meant to be a short video, but yeah, it's 50 minutes long. This has been the FPL Double Gaming 25 free hit draft. Let us know what you guys think of both our teams. Let us know if you're using any chips this week. It could be even a week to use a triple captain on someone like a Saka or even Salah. So let us know if you're going to use any chips. Also, as always, please don't forget to drop a like if you have enjoyed the content. And also, if you do like, what you see, best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button. We are close to 800 subscribers. If we could get that next, that would be amazing. So yeah, like, subscribe, and share the video as well. So last question, Martin, FPL Salah. I will be Saka for a -4 options. I don't know what you quite mean, but I like Salah and Saka this week. So if you don't have them, I think they're still worth to bring in, even if it's for a -4. But yeah, anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Yeah, hopefully for those who are free hitting or whatever your plan is, this helps out, as we have showed a team that is a cheap team value and a team that has a very high team value. So there's a bit of a mixture there if you want to afford the expensive players or cheap ones that may do well. But hopefully this has all helped you, and thanks for watching throughout the stream. It's always appreciated, and yeah, it's going to be a busy week. Obviously, we'll see you tomorrow for the transfer tip video.
Yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow for the transfer tips video, and then we're back again on Thursday for the team selection video, and then back on, I think it's Friday, isn't it? Deadline stream.
Yeah.
This week. So yeah, a lot of content to come. Make sure you tuned in, subscribe so you don't miss out, and ring the notification bell. But for now, hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, take care and see you soon.